It's that official time. When we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape. Definitely bringing you the power slam and pancakes. It's the mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really could have devoured him. And from that point then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Powerslam show. Let's go! Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam show. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam show. Turn it up.
You are now listening to the Pancakes and Powerslam show by Crave Wrestling on Blog Talk Radio. Be sure to follow Crave Wrestling on Twitter at Crave Wrestling and join the Facebook fan page Crave Wrestling.
397 episodes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Pancakes and Powerslams show, baby, if you will. I'm ready to have some fun. It's a whole different week this week. What's going on, Michael, in the building? I see. No, there's only one part that's pre-recorded. That's just a few minutes of I talked to PCO live a few minutes ago. I mean, this past weekend, and it's only a few minutes long. Other than that, everything else is live. It's a whole new week. Last week was awful, and I had just a piercing migraine, just shooting through my head, my eye, and through my head. But I'm all good now, baby. It's all good in the hood, baby. It's a whole different week. I'm ready to get back in the saddle, getting back to where it is, and I am here. I am ready to rock and roll, and I'm ready to have some fun, just like every other week. And I feel much better. I feel so much better, so much more better than last week. A whole different person, just about, as far as no more ridiculous migraines that's infiltrating my head right now. So I'm all good. I'm all ready to go. I'm ready to have some fun and be excited about tonight. Back with the PNP Nation. Let's do this. More dry ice evaporation facts. Nice, Michael. That's good. That's a good one. Yes, absolutely, Mo. I am back. I'm back to square one. Feel much better than I did before. So I'm ready to have some fun tonight. So I know the PNP Nation's ready to have some fun too. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is just a few minutes, and then we'll get back at it. We got a lot of Survivor Series trivia tonight. So get your Survivor Series trivia ready. Get your thinking caps ready. So we're going to have some trivia tonight for the Survivor Series trivia. The winner of the Survivor Series trivia gets to pick the flavor of the week for next week. How about that? So y'all keep score. The winner of the Survivor Series trivia gets to pick the flavor of the week topic for next week. All right. So get your thinking caps on. do whatever do whatever you have to do. For those who join it, for those who are just joining this, like I said, I feel much better. Just a few minute interview. I was live with PCO. PCO came to my hometown this past weekend to just a prelude to Final Battle. He was ROH unauthorized. So as you can see the picture right there, I took a picture with PCO and interviewed him, and we talked for a while actually away from the interview too. So we texted each other back and forth, and that was our first time actually meeting each other. We texted plenty of times back and forth, but that was actually our first time meeting each other. So we talked for a while, and he's just a sweetheart of a guy, and just a really cool dude. And yeah, so it was cool, man. So it was great. So I'll talk about that. I'll talk about ROH Unauthorized. I'll talk to another person too that was pretty cool too. I talked to two other people that was pretty cool, and we'll talk about that. So check out the interview, and like I said, get your thinking caps on. I got some Survivor Series trivia geared up, and the winner, y'all keep track of who's going to win, of who's keeping score. Y'all keep track of that. The winner of that, the winner of the Survivor Series trivia, is going to pick the Flavor of the Week topic for next week. This week, we're going to talk about the top 5 Survivor Series debuts. Of course, for those who are just joining us who don't know, aren't too familiar with the Pancakes and Powerslams show, we have a weekly interview. We have a wrestler interview every week. We talk about the biggest headlines. We do a little bit of Raw and SmackDown, touching up on that, a little bit of review. And then at the end, we have a random topic that we have every week called the Flavor of the Week. This week, the topic is the top 5 Survivor Series debuts. We're also going to talk about CrownJewel tonight, too. So, with that being said, get your thinking caps on. We're going to play some PCO interview, and we'll be right back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Featherstone. We are here live, Columbus, Ohio, Pancakes and Powerslam show with my guy, PCO. He's back here. He's got the main event match of the night. We're just a few weeks away from Final Battle. Awesome opportunity here at ROH Unauthorized. How are you, my friend?
I'm absolutely fantastic. I'm great. Feeling good for tonight.
And he's not human either, are you?
I'm not human.
So what you got in store for tonight?
It's going to be a pretty crazy, wild match because it's anything goes match. So no rules, basically. So for someone not human, that's the type of match I like.
Absolutely, absolutely. Got Final Battle coming up in a few weeks. What are your goals for that big show, one of the ROH's biggest shows of the year?
Well, the goal's always been the same goal. It's to get that gold, the ROH World Heavyweight Championship. I never got any World Heavyweight Championship with a major federation of my career, and the only reason why I'm still wrestling today is because that's what I want.
We talked about it on my show before, as far as having the wrestler feel, but for someone, but in a better type of feel to it, not for someone who was down and out and had an opportunity. You legitimately wanted to revive your career. It wasn't like you were down in the dumps or anything. You just wanted to come out and just totally rehaul your character. It's been so successful. What is next in store for PCO?
Well, there's plenty of projects up in the air. There's movies. There's possibility of doing some commercials. There's the cables jumper cables that I want to sell all over the place. There's wrestling. There's the belt. Yeah, that's the main goal. But there's also other goals that I had when I started in this business when I was 14 years old. I wanted to impact the business in a way that was never impacted before. So it's hard for me to tell you which way it's going to take because I've got my goals set up in my mind. Sometimes it takes another route to get there. So that's part of the adventure. So that's what it's nice about it.
Well, like all the other times I've talked to you, I'm pulling for you. I'm excited about the story. I'm excited about the crowning moments. And just don't forget about me.
I will not forget about you. I remember our conversations quite a few times, and I will not forget you for sure.
Awesome. It's been a pleasure, PCO. Thanks a lot, man.
Hey, thanks so much.
Thanks.
All right. Yes, jumper cables. Yes, absolutely, jumper cables. All right, we are here. We are ready to rock and roll. Yeah, we are back and we are live in the living color, baby. Funky like a monkey, if you will. Yeah, he wants to do jumper cables. Well, first of all, he's not human, so that's the reason why he wanted to do jumper cables. But the jumper cables is about you know, when he gets shocked and everything, and so like that's the gimmick with that. So that was pretty cool. All right, so how's everybody doing? PNP Nation, how's it going tonight? Trying to make sure these comments are coming up all the way. Let me know how you doing. All the good. What's going on? So Mo, Michael, Lexi. Okay, I see. Awesome. What's up, Gabriel? For some reason my comments are going a little bit too yeah, my comments are going a little bit too it's like one or two off. So it used to be like up to date, like up to speed. So I gotta fix that. But how's everything going? How's everybody doing? Let me know. I feel good. I feel much better than I was feeling. My goodness, what a difference a week makes, ladies and gentlemen. What a difference a week makes. Yeah, I don't know why the 10-day road trip, Michael. Okay. All right, 10-day road trip. So you went to Texas. What'd you go to Texas for? What'd you go to Texas for, Michael? Let's see. I don't know why. Your TV show. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Congratulations on that. What's your TV show? That's really cool. Where do you stay, by the way? What state do you stay at? All right, how's everybody else doing? See, Lexi's in the building. Gabriel's in the building. Before the hunt. Okay, that's don't tell me. Oh goodness. Don't tell me. That's Gilbert's Dwayne Gills, right? Isn't that his thing? Pennsylvania until January, then Tennessee. Just enjoyed a nice weekend of wrestling. Yeah, there was a lot of wrestling that went on this weekend. There's some wrestling this weekend too. So, oh, nice. That's awesome. That's good stuff, man. Great stuff. Great stuff. A lot of wrestling, Mo says. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. I'll get that fixed. Yeah. It's so funny with this technology stuff. As soon as you get you think you got everything together. And then only the first episode, a total of 20 for season. Oh, okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, as soon as you get all this stuff together, it just starts acting up again. So I don't know why. It's doing this as far as acting up. As far as the comments, I want to show all the comments, but for some reason it's acting up. But keep the comments rolling. You can see them on there. Waiting for a certain topic. Oh, okay. I don't. I can guess what you're saying. I can guess what the topic is, Lexi. But you know how I am. Just throw it in an Ask Chris question, and I shall answer it. There's no shame when it comes to making sure that we get this that we answer some stuff here on the show. So no shame with that. No shame with that at all. Yeah. So just hashtag Ask Chris. You know the deal, and we'll make that happen. All right, so let's talk about before if there's no Ask Chris questions right now, I'll just wait. Oh, that's a good one, Michael. Ask Chris favorite pro football team, and why? Okay. My favorite pro football team is the Tennessee Titans, and funny that you mentioned Tennessee Titans, and it's the Tennessee Titans because I am a huge Ohio State football fan, like huge Ohio State football fan. So, in 1996, Eddie George was drafted to the Tennessee Titans, and I've been a Titans fan ever since. So, you're moving 65 minutes away from the stadium. Nice. Yeah. So I'm a huge Tennessee Titans fan. So I've been a fan ever since. I've been a fan since '96, and a few years later we went to the championship game, and Kurt Warner. Oh, Kurt Warner. Unfortunately, Kurt Warner shattered our dreams. Kevin Dyson, so close, but so far away. Yes, 1 yard, Michael, 1 yard. Ooh, okay. I know Lexi's about to bring the heat. Let me read this question here. No, she about to bring the heat. Oh, she about to bring the heat. Okay. Yeah, I knew this was coming. She said, Mo says, they don't talk about the Titans much. That doesn't surprise me, unfortunately, because the Titans, not very good, unfortunately. It's so sad. It hurts my heart, but we haven't been. We made the championship a couple of times. What's going on, Huddle? Well, not the championship, but the playoffs. But haven't went far in the past 20 years. All right, Lexi asks, given the ever-changing reasons behind the Saudi ordeal, do you think The real issue stemmed from something that occurred after the event. Think behind the scenes. Well, the biggest news is that it has to do with. So Mo says the only person that knows his wrestlers and Vince. So the biggest news is that there's a good chance that it occurred due to a lack of getting their Super Showdown money. So, again, take that as just a rumor. But the Super Showdown money was unpaid. There was a delay in that, and that's it. That's it. So I believe that too. So I believe that there were some issues there. WWE said mechanical issues, but that old Saudi Super. No, I don't mean CrownJewel. I mean Super Showdown. Mo, not their quarter earnings. There was a delay in getting paid. Well, rumored there was a delay in getting paid from Saudi for Super Showdown. And so, yeah, there was an issue there. Yep. George Burial, $60 million. Yep. With some of the talent, Gabriel's asking, with some of the talent in NWA coming from Impact, is it safe to say that they are Corgan's people, or why they get the push they did while Corgan was in Impact? Good question, Gabriel. Corgan's, are they Corgan's people? Yeah, I mean, like who? No. Super Showdown was the so you had the Super Showdown in Australia, Mo, and then you also had Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. So there's been two Super Showdowns, Mo. The Super Showdown, there's one with Showdown was two words, and the other one was just one word. So the Super Showdown was just past June, was the Goldberg and Undertaker, right? That was the Super Showdown one. Yeah. As far as the Impact talent, safe to say there are Corgan's people. Perhaps. I mean, there's who's as far as talent in NWA. Yeah, no, I would definitely. James Storm is definitely not a Corgan guy. He's a original. He's a TNA original. Ken Anderson wasn't either. He came from Impact. Well, his last big stint was in Impact. Eddie Kingston in Homicide. Homicide's not a Corgan guy. Eddie Kingston's not a Eddie Kingston. Actually, let me text Eddie Kingston to see if he ever worked with Billy Corgan. Let me ask him. I'll ask him that. But he's not necessarily a Billy Corgan guy. Corgan guy. I'm going to ask him. This is an exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see what we do on the Pancakes and Powerslams show. Did you work with Billy Corgan while you were in TNA? I just texted Eddie Kingston and asked him. So we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, Drake. Okay, so Gabriel says Eli Drake, Sienna, and James Storm. Yeah, James Storm, no. Actually, James Storm came from NWA to go to TNA. Sienna, no, I wouldn't say that there's any type of, favorable things. The reason why, she was brought in. She's just a good talent. So and then Drake was there for a number of years too. So we'll see. I don't think so. Lexi, a group of wrestlers being dubbed as the 20 left on a chartered aircraft. What is your opinion on the remaining staff 100 being left and the company not chartering a craft for them? Well, good question, Lexi. I think there's the top. There's the top echelon. There's the top of the barrel, and you got preferential treatment the higher you are on the list. That's that's how wrestling is. And you can say unfortunately, but some people. Some people you get that spot, you don't get the spot. I know that I reached out to a source and I found out that Hulk Hogan was back. He didn't get it. He didn't get any issues with the flight. Of course, Brock Lesnar and Heyman, they had their own, so that's the reason why they were able to appear on SmackDown the next night. So unfortunately, you got stuff like Zack Ryder or something like like it's just you got Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman compared to Zack Ryder, and I like Zack Ryder. I like Zack Ryder. I'm an advocate of Zack Ryder, but he's just not going to get the same treatment as Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, because it's all about draw. The bigger you are, the bigger draw you are, the bigger stroke you have. That's how it is. Who did I text? Michael. I texted Eddie Kingston to see if he worked with Billy Corgan while he was with TNA. Do you think the 20 were dubbed is more important than the brand? Yep. So yeah, if you were VCAM, how would you speak to this issue internally? Just to follow up with what I was saying. Here's the thing. Listen, you're gonna get people who draw more. You're a bigger draw. Vince McMahon knows how to talk. He knows how to patch things up. There's so many people who said throughout the years. Jericho has said it, and a lot of people who I've interviewed have said it. Vince McMahon has a way to completely change your mind and manipulate you to think that what you thought going into the office was complete hogwash. And he has that promoter ability. He's a promoter. He knows he's a hustler. He knows how to talk. He knows how to kind of coerce and manipulate people. He's got that greasy salesman type of mentality, and he does it well. So he'll know how to talk to the backstage of saying, we appreciate everybody coming. We appreciate the staff that we have. We do have to understand that there's people who are high on the totem pole who brings in more money, who are better draws, and you all, here comes the commanding part, and you all should you all should have a goal. You all should have the ability, the want, the desire to grab the brass ring. You see Brock Lesnar. You see Brock Lesnar. He grabbed the brass ring. You see Hulk Hogan, one of the biggest legends in WWE history. He grabbed the brass ring. Zach, I see you over there. Do you want the brass ring? And then there's your, wait a minute. Yeah, I want the brass ring. Apollo Crews, I see you over there. Put that catering food down. Listen to me when I'm talking to you. Do you want the brass ring? Yes, Vince, I want the brass ring. Who wants the brass ring in this room? And then there's your big celebration. And Vince McMahon walks by and said, that was all a bunch of nothing. But I was able to completely turn the room around for everybody to want the brass ring. And it all came from everybody complaining of the reason why we're still stuck in Saudi Arabia. Now everybody's like, wait, I want the brass ring. Wait a minute. So that's just the way to do it. He's just he knows how to get in people's minds psychologically to do that. So interesting. Let's see. Some good questions, guys. Eddie hasn't texted me. He usually texts me right back every time I talk to him. But it is 11:30 at night, so he may be asleep. Once he responds, I'll get back with you. He may be asleep. Let's see. Huddle. Do you think WWE should make a Survivor Series more like a Pro Bowl All-Star Weekend, just a fun weekend for the fans? Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think you have that with Mania. You have that with SummerSlam. You kind of have that with Survivor Series because you have the War Games takeover the night before. So it is a weekend. You know, I think money wise. Mania is it as far as like, you know, when I started going to Mania, it was like Thursday you felt like you got there early, but now things are starting like Tuesday. So it's really the whole week. It's from like Tuesday to Tuesday. So it's crazy. I'm interested to see, and I'll be going to Tampa this coming Mania, Lord willing. I'm getting everything together for that with my the site that I write for. So I'll be there, and it'll be a typical Thursday to Monday for me. But I'm interested this year. Well, next year, I'm interested to see how that's going to work with SmackDown being on Fridays now. So, because Fridays are typically, you know, a really hot night, you know, for different shows that weekend. So it's going to be really interesting to see how a live SmackDown, and you have TakeOver and the Hall of Fame that weekend too. So it'll be really interesting. It seems like they'll probably do the Hall of Fame on Thursday, and then they'll have SmackDown on Friday, and they'll probably have TakeOver on Saturday, and then Mania on Sunday. They'll probably bump the Hall of Fame to Thursday, which makes Mania, which even extends more with Mania weekend. So it'll be really interesting. Michael says the wild card rule is being broken already. Your thoughts? They try to see. It's not necessarily a wild card rule still, because people aren't just blatantly, you know, going to Raw or SmackDown. You know, Heyman tried to play it and say, well, I'm drafted to, I'm a SmackDown person, so that's the reason why he was on the Tron with Mysterio. Kane was a free agent. Ray breaking the rule is true, and that shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. But they really have no explanation for that. So that was odd. But everything else, it seems like they're trying to stay true to it. I'm a big fan of the split. They should keep the split. Keep it. Just, I don't want to see regurgitated Raw and SmackDown stuff. I mean, like I said before, the biggest issue was Before the split happened a few years back, it was I would call it Raw Light every single week. Raw Light, because we would just see a regurgitated Raw, but in a 2-hour frame. SmackDown was just unbearable to me for a while because it was just the same thing, just about the same thing as Raw. So keep the split, showcase talent, allow it to be what it should be, which is to showcase talent on both brands. So Gabriel, if you can make Gabriel's asking if you could trade one main eventer, one mid-carder, one female, and one tag team from each promotion to another, who would you deal? Oh, man, that's good. I'm guessing you mean from Raw to SmackDown or actual promotion to promotion. So from each promotion to another. So I'm guessing you're talking from Raw to SmackDown or from SmackDown to Raw or so forth. So I'll answer based on that. Let me know what you mean, but I'll answer it based on Raw and SmackDown. If I can trade one main eventer from Raw to SmackDown or vice versa, I would trade I would bring I would take Rollins to SmackDown. I think Rollins on Raw doesn't really help him anymore. Mid-card. Oh, okay, from WWE to AEW or ROH to MLW. Okay. That's even a bigger thing. Okay, so we'll do that. All right. So, from WWE to AEW or vice versa. Okay, so for main eventer, I would trade. AEW just needs more star power to me. I would have a baby face go to AEW. Because you have the Inner Circle, but as far as the babyface, part, you really, I mean, who do you have? I mean, you have Cody, of course, but you have MJF, who's a heel, but is Cody's best friend. You know what I mean? So it's that's weird. You have Dustin, who's a mid-carder. He's not a main event babyface. They can make him one, but it doesn't seem like that's what he wants to do. I would do mid-card wise. I don't want to touch NWA. I don't want to take anybody out of the NWA because NWA is so good right now. Big fan of Power. I love the fact that they're working with what they have. Like, for instance, the Dawsons is a really good the Dawsons is a really good faction. I mean, it's a tag team, good at tag team. It's a really good example. So basically, the Dawsons, you're building up a team that I never heard of the Dawsons before NWA Power, and now I'm sold on them because they look like legit heel tag team. So they're doing good with actually building up talent. NWA is probably one of the best promotions that's actually building up talent right now. So I'm a big fan of that. So I wouldn't touch anybody as far as moving from NWA. Now moving to NWA, perhaps. Now all this is going to need. I mean, James Storm lost on Power just today. James Storm lost the national championship, so it seems like they're moving James Storm up to main event level to feud with Aldis, which I'm cool with. So that would lead a national champion contender for Cabana, and so So I would move like a mid card WWE guy. Like see, it's tough because you don't want to. I can't see a current WWE mid card go to NWA and be like a big star in the national championship scene. I think the Revival may be good. I think the Revival in the NWA would be a good choice. I think So the Revival would be the tag team to the NWA because they fit. I mean, they fit perfectly in the NWA. The mid-carder, I'm an Apollo Crews fan, man. So I would say Apollo Crews somewhere. Apollo Crews to AEW. So there you go. Apollo Crews to AEW. As far as the main eventer, I would move maybe someone. I mean, AEW needs help in the top babyface scene right now. So someone who would be like a top babyface in AEW. I think Kevin Owens would be pretty good. A pretty good babyface in AEW. A pretty good top babyface in AEW. So Kevin Owens to AEW, Revival to NWA, and Apollo Crews to AEW. There we go. All right. Good question. Very good question. Lexi says, I guess my issue with the reason is that if Saudi owned VKM Money, why would they hold the talent back? Also, it was leaked to the U.S. Embassy. The U.S. Embassy was involved, so I think something actually happened. Might have been some type of issue. It might have been like a riot or something like that, or just that revolved the embassy. I mean, if you're talking about that much money, certainly, some higher ups would be involved in that. So yeah, again, all rumors, but that's what I heard. Only Vince and a couple other people know what really happened, but I certainly don't think it was mechanical issues. So, why would they hold a talent back? Because they want their money. It was a way to protest of them getting their money. We're not going anywhere until you give us our money back. So, Buddy Murphy NWA. I like that. I like Buddy Murphy NWA. Probably be used more in AEW. Yep. Indeed. All right, so let's talk about some Flavor of the Week. Okay, I'm supposed to be asking y'all trivia, aren't I? Here we go. First question. Who was the sole survivor of the Hulkamaniacs versus $1 Million Team match at Survivor Series 1989? Who was the sole survivor of the Hulkamaniacs versus $1 Million Team match at Survivor Series 1989? 1989. What you got? Well, Michael's got the first. Hulk Hogan. Point for Mike. Let me ask another one. Next one. The Rougeau brothers, Rick Rude and Blank, were the Rude Brood at the 1989 Survivor Series. The Rougeau brothers, Rick Rude and Blank, were the Rude Brood at the 1989 Survivor Series. All right, so let's tap into some CrownJewel real quick. Real quick for Holly. Holly Lexi? Holly who? Hardcore Holly? Not in 1989. The Rude Brood. No, on Warrior. Warrior's babyface. Definitely wouldn't be teaming up with Rick Rude. Good guess Mike, but no, not Dino Bravo. Good guess, though. That's a really good guess. Nope, not Dino Bravo. All right, so let's talk about some CrownJewel. I thought that CrownJewel was the best Saudi event that they've had so far. I think that the Greatest Royal Rumble is okay, probably because it's what's the question again? Okay, yeah, I'll ask the question again. Yeah, I'm glad. I can tell that you're not Googling, Michael. That's what I appreciate. The Rougeau brothers, Rick Rude and Blank, were the Rude Brood at the 1989 Survivor Series. Just think, who was some of the heels at that time in 1989? Who were some of the heels in 1989 that were around? Yeah, well, Greatest Royal Rumble. Was that to me, that leaves a mark to me because I was actually having surgery that same day as Greatest Royal Rumble back in April of 2018. I was having back surgery, so that's when I had my spinal fusion. And crazy story, I had to. This is crazy. This is after my surgery, I had to lay on my back. I could not move. I had to stay on my back for 24 hours. So there wouldn't be any complications or anything or any leakage or anything like that. I had to stay on my back and lay in the bed for 24 straight hours without moving to the side. I couldn't move to the side. I couldn't sit up. I couldn't do anything. 24 hours. Flat. Couldn't elevate the bed. Nothing. Just flat. Under the bed for 24 hours. And that was that was not fun at all. Not fun at all. So yeah. For those who share back problems with me, you understand my pain. Not good at all. So, and then when I was able to get up, I was able to eat a little bit, and then I watched Greatest Royal Rumble when I got up, which was the day after my surgery. So I watched it on my phone. So, no, I think I watched it on my laptop. Either on my phone or my laptop. I watched it, but Greatest Royal Rumble has a special spot in my heart because watching it made time pass after my surgery. I literally had nothing to do but just sit there and wait for days during my surgery. And I was in my hospital bed, just sitting there, laying there. And the moment I was able to elevate myself, I got something to eat, and I think I turned on Greatest Royal Rumble. And I think, you know what, I might have even watched it. No, I didn't watch it real time. I might have even watched it the day of. I might have just been elevated, I might have been just laying flat, just looking at it on my phone. But for some reason, I feel like I was elevated, and so I wasn't elevated until a day later. So I think I might have watched it either late in the night or the next day or something like that. But yeah, I did watch it in the hospital. So, yes, Michael, good job, man. Looks like Michael wants to pick the Flavor of the Week topic next week. Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, is the correct answer. Great job, Michael. Fantastic job. Impressed with that. All right, next question. Let's do another one. What was Jim Duggan's team called at the 1989 Survivor Series? What was Jim Duggan's team called at the 1989 Survivor Series? As far as CrownJewel is concerned, I think it was a solid show. There wasn't anything crazy about it, I think. It wasn't anything that really stood out to be really bad. I think that Super Showdown wasn't good. I don't, But this one wasn't bad. It was a solid show. I knew that Carrillo was going to win. I think I picked either Carrillo or Cedric. Y'all keep guessing. Y'all keep guessing. When I see the right answer, I'll mention it. So y'all, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to have the wrong answer especially if you're not Googling. This is 30 years ago. So it's okay. Just logically think about, these answers. It's all right. So if you just keep shooting wrong answers, it's okay. Just keep guessing. And after a while, if I see that you guys have reached a stump, then I'll say the answer. But yeah, it's okay. It's totally cool. Just keep shooting out answers. Yeah, I thought Carrillo or Cedric was going to win. So that wasn't a surprise at all. Ooh, almost, Michael. Almost. Close. Very, very close. So, yeah, I'll even, yeah, very close. Keep going that route, Michael. Yeah, I thought Carrillo or Cedric was going to win, and Carrillo ended up winning, which I thought that was going to happen. Brock beating Kane. I knew that. There it is, Mo. The 4x4s. The 4x4s. Good job. 4x4s. All right, let's do this. So two for Mike, one for Mo. Got two more left. So who's going to break the tie? Ultimate Warriors 1988 Survivor Series winning team included Jim Brunzell, the Blue Blazer, Sam Houston, and blank. Ultimate Warriors 1988 Survivor Series winning team included Jim Brunzell, the Blue Blazer, Sam Houston, and blank. Make y'all go back to remember who the baby faces of 1988 were. Yeah, so Kane was injured. His knees jacked up. So a 2-minute match definitely wasn't a surprise. It was good how they treated him, though. He put Lesnar down, and Lesnar actually, yeah, who's missing from that? So blank. Fill in the blank of who the Ultimate Warriors team was. Yeah, who was missing from that? So there's one person missing from this team. So his team included the Ultimate Warrior, Jim Brunzell, Blue Blazer, Sam Houston, and one other person. So there's the person. There's the wrestlers. See, okay, I'll give that to both of you because Mo, you said, "Did I say beefcake?" and I didn't, and then you actually answered it correctly, Michael. So I'll give point for both of you on that. So yeah, beefcake. So point for both. So 3, I think we're at 3-2 right now. 3-2. Michael versus Mo. Don't look like anybody else is wants to touch this old school trivia we're doing right now. Looks like Mike and Mo are duking it out. Yeah. So Lesnar and Kane, I think that was a good way to book that match. 2-minute match. It was short because he's injured, so I'm cool with that. OC being the best tag team in the world, that actually surprised me. I was thinking War Raiders because they're just like unstoppable at this point, but them actually winning, OC actually winning was actually a very big surprise for me. Especially since they didn't really do anything with it on Raw. They didn't really boast about it too much. I don't even think they brought it out. Did they even bring out the? Did they bring out the trophies? Let me see. Did they bring out the trophies on Raw? No, Mo says no, they didn't. Huh. Why in the world would they not bring out the trophy? I wonder. I wonder if. Well, he had his title on the second time, I believe, when they came out. When they came out the first time, Styles didn't have the title, but the second time he did. Yeah, I'm wondering why they didn't bring out the trophy. Very, very interesting. Trying to look and see of any pictures of them bringing it out. I don't see it. Maybe they left it in Saudi. Yeah, I was thinking like maybe that thing was so big that it probably didn't make probably didn't make customs. Okay, so Tammy, it was on the podium ringside. Okay, I was wondering how maybe that made the charter flight or something like that. Because, I mean, traveling. I've traveled a lot now over the past. It's funny because I didn't travel at all for a long time, and for the past 5 years I've been traveling a lot on the plane, at least once or twice a year, and and so now knowing customs, it'll be really difficult to try to sell flying a huge trophy from on the plane. I don't know how in the world that would get on there. Definitely can't put it on the aisle, and you're not going to be carrying it with you. That would be interesting. Somehow they'll have to transport it through like baggage maybe or something, but that would be weird too. So, but yeah, Mansoor winning. Of course, that was going to happen. That was obvious. That was obvious. Tyson Fury beating Braun Strowman. I thought that was going to happen too. That didn't surprise me at all. Tyson Fury winning. The first thing I thought was, the first thing I thought was Tyson Fury knocking out Braun Strowman on the outside. That was the first thing I thought of. So it happened, and that's a good way to protect. Like I said before, like I said on the show, that's a good way to protect Fury, and that's a good way to protect Braun, especially when Braun beat him up afterwards too. So that was a good way. I mean, you're getting your big payday from Tyson Fury, having him lose. From a WWE standpoint, it's like I'm not going to have him lose because I spent so much money on paying him. So you knock him out for a 10 count, then he gets back up and power slams him. So I was cool with that, actually. Of course, Tyson Fury made a bunch of he made some mistakes, but that was his first time in the ring. I was cool with it. I was totally cool with it. It was his first time in the ring. Cut him some slack, So I was cool with it, man. I was totally cool with it. So Tyson Fury, Tyson Fury basically was able to win the match. So I'm cool with that. Especially since there's some talks that Fury's going to come back for WrestleMania. He said he wants to come back if his schedule allows. He wants to come back for WrestleMania. So I can see that as Braun's opportunity. And I said this before. I can see that as Braun's opportunity to win that Mania. So I think that was going to happen. AJ Styles being Carrillo, I knew that was going to happen too. Natalya defeating Lacey Evans, I knew that I was going to. I predicted that too. I figured that was going to happen. Feel good moment for first women's match. I'm cool with that too. Hogan defeating Team Flair. Team Hogan defeating Team Flair again. I know that was going to happen too. I think that was the best match of the night. That was a really good match. Very impressed with that match. And then Wyatt defeating Rollins was a surprise to me. Because of the whole title thing, and ended up doing Lesnar, quitting, SmackDown to go to Raw. So that was their way of moving it over. So the Universal Championship's on SmackDown, and I'm cool with that. Now the way they kind of put the whole Bray thing in the corner though. They really do, because who in the world is going to beat Bray Wyatt? Who's gonna beat Bray Wyatt? He's at a point now where he's impervious to pain. He pops right back up. He got kicked into some travel crates and some travel cases, and pyro bursted, and he still bounced up and put him in the mandible and then the Sister Abigail. So how in the world is he going to be able? Who's going to be able to beat him? It's funny because I was having this conversation with a friend of mine at ROH, and I was like, you know what? The only thing that makes sense to me with the person who, at this point, you need some big tower, powerhouse to beat Bray for the championship, because I think it's safe to say that Bray's going to keep the title till Mania, which he should. I think he should keep the title till Mania. I think WWE needs to work on him being a heel, though. He's the fresh. He's a good, he's a pretty sweet gimmick. He's really fresh, really, really on point as far as somebody who's new. And I think that's the reason why the reason why he's getting so many cheers is because he's new, he's fresh, so he's over. And he's new, and so but that's the problem, though. That's the problem. He's a heel. And, the problem with WWE, the reason why a lot of people aren't built right, is because of the faces and the heels are not built correctly. And I think at this point you're going to have to work on Bray. You're going to have him start attacking people that people love. That's the biggest thing. So, as far as that's concerned, what I said during the conversation that we had, I said I think you should have Braun win the Rumble, and you should have Braun finally have his moment and beat Bray at Mania, and you should have Braun and Bray for the Universal Championship at Mania. And that's really the only person and the only way that you can get to a point of someone who can actually beat Bray Wyatt, because Seth Rollins and it's like he took ladder shots, chair shots, sledgehammer shots. He's taking all those things and still popping up. Ain't nobody in the whole WWE roster can do more than what Seth did. He needs to lose to someone who's like a legit powerhouse, who's a babyface. And that's the reason why I think you should have Braun win the Rumble finally, and actually have him go against Bray at Mania. Yeah, I agree, Michael. He didn't need the belt. I you know how I am with that too. I'm a big fan of saying, I'm not a fan of saying no one needs the title, because everybody needs. Everybody wants to be a WWE superstar for the title. So you don't say, people don't just say, okay, I want to go to WWE just to be a good character, and I'm cool with that. No, you actually want to win the title. But I would say that I agree with you, Mike, as far as he didn't need the belt. I believe that the person should make the title shouldn't make the person. So, that's like you get to the point where Warrior got the title because he was at a point he was the biggest thing going. Hogan, biggest thing going. So Taker was so over that it's like he didn't need a title, but he was the hottest, one of the hottest things going at the time. It's really hard to build and make a superstar by putting a world title on them if they're not already built up. they just trash Jinder, but that's how it was for Jinder. Sheamus even really, he's been champ multiple times, but he's still not really like an upper echelon main eventer, so that's the reason why characters matter. Baby faces, heels, characters, they all matter. Make Bray heel the claw and Renee Young Major He. That's true. That's a good one. That's a good one. But yeah. Hashtag Ask Chris. Let me know your thoughts on that. All right, so that's Crown Jewel. Let's get to the headlines. I think it's time for the headlines. Let's do this. Headlines. You know what time it is. Headlines. Here we go. Randy Orton signs a multi-year deal with WWE. Very interesting that he was saying that stuff on social media about being in front of a room that said elite, and that was funny. The AEW trolling stuff. But yeah, I mean, he's a WWE guy, man. And he's going to retire in WWE. It's funny because he's only 39, or about to be 39 this year. Either just turned or going to be. I think he's 39, and 39 years old, and he's been in the business for 17 years. He debuted in WWE 17 years ago. That's crazy, but he's only 39, and that's the crazy thing, man. I don't know. I think maybe acting, because he's only 39, but he's like old in wrestling years, 17 years. So yeah, I think he's gonna take this deal. He's gonna wrap it up, and after that, he's probably going to do. I can see him do acting. I can see Orton do acting. Because he'll have, if the Lord allows him to make it to the average, the average lifespan of about 80 now, he'll still have like 35 years to do whatever, So he'll have the money. You probably just Orton probably just ride out in the sunset at like 44 years old, 45, and just like we won't hear from him. Maybe a time or two, but I can definitely see him. I can definitely see Orton. Doing some like appearances like Edge or something like that, like on Raw or something like that, staying close to the WWE. I could definitely see that. So, he was never going to go to the AEW. He wasn't going to go anywhere. I think, the leader says, stay trolling. He was never leaving. I doubt many ever bought it. I know I wouldn't. Yeah. Lexi's asking, what are your thoughts on RKO signing a multi-year contract today with WWE? Do you think is? Oh, it's funny. I'm just seeing this this question, and that was the biggest thing that was the number one on the headlines right now. Good job, Lexi, as always. Yeah. So he wasn't gonna go. He wasn't gonna go to AEW. That wasn't gonna happen. So he stayed trolling, and that's just the way it is as far as what he does, as far as Randy Orton. Velveteen Dream. The Velveteen Dream. Yeah, he's injured, unfortunately. He's injured. And so Meltzer is saying that he may not come back until the beginning of the year. So that's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate there. But, I think, sometimes it's one of those things that is there's a part of it that's a good thing that he's not going to be, of course it's not a good thing he's injured, but it is a kind of a good thing that he's not going to be around. Because the fact that it's one of those things that we want, that Velveteen Dream is one of the only people who was like legit over with the crowd, and we want to keep him fresh. Yeah, Michael, keeps him fresh, absolutely. So keeps him fresh, and I keep saying, I think Velveteen Dream winning the NXT Championship should be the next thing when it comes to WrestleMania weekend. I think he should win it. I think that's the biggest thing. He should win it at TakeOver Tampa, or whatever they're going to call it. I think they should win it there, and I think it brings with NXT on Wednesday nights. I think it brings a pretty cool feel. So yeah, I'm a fan of it. I'm all for it, and I think that's what they should do. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to get this chat together to make it lined up right. There we go. I think that's better. Yeah, that's better. All right, there we go. Final 3, not win, but gives them a big rub. For Rumble, time for the dry ice segment. Sponsored by. Somebody find me a dry ice company to sponsor the show. That would be really, really fun and funny. Very funny. Yeah. Sponsor the show. Yeah, I think, I don't know, Michael. I don't know how I feel about that. So Michael's proposing Dream makes it to the final 3 and gives him a good opportunity to kind of shine, but he doesn't win it though. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Because I mean, it can help. It can help. But at the same time, you don't want to make Dream. I think you really want to make him stand out. I think you really want to make him stand out. And if you have anything to do with the actual WWE, booking, because for a while the biggest thing was do not put him on the main roster, and I still feel that way. I still agree with that. And so it's like, yeah. I don't think you want to do that. I don't think you want to do. I don't think you want to do that because I think it brings. He still loses and makes him look good. Well, AJ's AJ's a star. I mean, he was like, he was coming from Japan. And he was one of the hottest, free agents at the time. So, no, I don't think you move Dream to Raw. No. See, I don't think you move Dream to Raw after Mania. I think you keep him NXT. You make him NXT champ. Because I'm not confident at WWE properly utilizing Dream on the main roster. I think you at least make him a champ. You may at least make him NXT champ. Yeah, you gotta be careful with that. You gotta be very, very careful with that. And I just don't have the confidence that I just don't have the confidence that you do that. Unfortunately. Yeah, I think you keep him in NXT because he can definitely be. I mean, he'll be a top star hands down on NXT. Well, you're saying not getting paid much, but I think you can get to a point, especially with the USA deal. I think the NXT stars aren't getting paid as much as they would on the main roster, of course. But at the same time, with there being like a third brand now, especially with the invasion and things like that, they can, renegotiate those things. And from what I've heard, there are actually some NXT people making some good money. So like the top tier guys are making some pretty good money, 6 figures. So that's pretty good. So yeah, Dream would be a top guy, and I think he's very few 200K. Yeah, he would be one of those guys though. I think if you push him up there, in the top echelon, I think he can make some pretty good money, 2 to 250, and that's pretty good for a top star on NXT. Rather than trying. I mean, they just the risk of just butchering, his gimmick on the main roster. So. But yeah, the main roster minimum is 385K. Is what Michael's saying. But what does that even mean, though, Michael? You have Luke Harper wanting to quit. You have Kenta quitting. You have Mike Bennett wanting to quit. You have so many people wanting to quit who was on the main roster. Sean Spears quit, asking for his release. Like, there's so many people who, despite making money, want to quit. I mean, because they don't. Rhino even said, Rhino, he said that he was. Rhino said that he was offered double. I mean, of course, Moxley. Look at Moxley. He was offered even more, and he was making 7 figures. So that goes to show that just because you're making money doesn't mean you're happy. Dream is definitely money. That's for sure, Michael. I'll always say that on this show. Dream is money for sure. Absolutely. So, make them. I'll say come back, beginning of the year, and let him have an opportunity to get himself in the NXT Championship feud. I'll say have Cole keep it until TakeOver right before Mania, and you have Dream beat Cole at Mania. I mean, the TakeOver before Mania, Tampa, and the crowd will go absolutely bananas for that. All right, lastly, we have Nia Jax. Paige wanting to manage Nia Jax. Now, she expressed interest that she wanted to manage Nia Jax when she comes back. Nia Jax is injured. So, obviously, the Kabuki Warriors thing is gone because they turned on Paige. Now, this is odd to me because you want to keep Nia Jax a heel. You definitely don't want to make Nia Jax a babyface. Babyface Nia Jax was just boo-boo. Like, no. And you want to keep Paige a babyface too because she gets cheered. That's the reason why she left the Kabuki Warriors. So I can see. I mean, I can understand that there's interest because they're such good friends. Nia does need promo work. You're absolutely right about that. But Paige managing Nia Jax, that just really wouldn't work out for me. I think you keep Paige a babyface. I'll tell you what would be good for Is Paige going to wrestle again? No, I don't think so. Not in WWE at least. No, I don't think no, because Paige gets cheered, and Paige being a mouthpiece of Nia Jax just wouldn't make sense. I tell you what I would prefer, what I would be a fan of. I think Paige should be to do color commentary for NXT UK. I think that's what I think that would be super dope if she did color commentary for NXT UK. I'm trying, like, it's clear that they're trying to fit Paige somewhere. It's very clear they're trying to fit her somewhere. Yeah, I mean NXT UK, I'll make her a commentator there. I think that would be a good way to fit her in. Yeah, I'd be that. That's where I would put her. Lexi's asking, do you believe the talent that wants to quit WWE is truly unhappy with working conditions, or do you believe it's a mixture of ego and insecurity with not being seen as bankable by Vince? I think it's a combination of both. I think, rightfully, like for instance, Sean Spears, dude was mad over, and he was just fodder for everybody else on the main roster. I mean, he was one of the most over people in the WWE. When he got that 10th spot in the Royal Rumble, the place went absolutely bananas. But for some reason, the organic pops, and we saw this with Zack Ryder too when he was getting his organic pops. For some reason, and Rusev, they tried to squelch that too, which I was actually happy that they did that, because you can't have him heel and people chanting Rusev Day. They should have just turned him babyface. But if they're going to I'm glad that they squelched the pops for when he was a heel. But at the same time, I think the better option would be just to turn him babyface. But if it's an organic pop, WWE doesn't want anything to do with it. So we saw that with Dillinger too, with Sean Spears. So that's the thing. If it's not a WWE type of thing, that's the reason why Daniel Bryan, for a long time, he was, the whole B+ player thing. I think that I think a B+ player with Daniel Bryan, that was an organic push. People were really behind him. So, the yes movement and things like that, I think if it's not, typically, unfortunately, if it's not a WWE endorsed thing, if they didn't make it, they'll break it. And that's what we see all the time. So, like Luke Harper, super over, and I think it's just one of those things that they're just unhappy because they don't feel like they're seen as bankable. But I think with a few of them, rightfully so. Kenta, for instance, Hideo Itami, huge into Japan, huge coming from Japan. He was the man in Noah, and they just booked him badly. I mean, granted, he was injury prone. He did get injured a couple times. So, granted, that. Same thing with Mystico, Sin Cara. He got injured too. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that as far as who they keep and who else, who's next on sending on the list of sending a release. Unfortunately. So yeah, we'll see. Well, I mean, we'll see about this as far as Paige and Nia Jax. I think it's just one of those, kind of wishful thinking things. I hope it doesn't happen, because I think Paige is good as a babyface. I think you put her in NXT UK. That's where she fits. Just managing some random people, I don't see it. All right, Raw and SmackDown. Your thoughts. What are your Raw and SmackDown thoughts? What are your Raw and SmackDown thoughts? Let's get right into it. All right. Next question. I think this is the last question of the night. So I think Mike, if you get this right, you get to pick the Flavor of the Week topic. Who was the sole survivor of the 1987 Survivor Series main event? Who was the sole survivor of the 1987 Survivor Series main events? Man, Raw was tough for me. SmackDown was good. SmackDown was good. I like the NXT feel. I'm not, the only thing about SmackDown is that I was I had kind of mixed feelings on it. I liked the NXT invasion. I called it, there you go. Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant. I think that makes it a tie now, right? Yeah, makes it a tie. So you all need a tiebreaker question. Let's see. I'm thinking about what question I should ask. What question should I ask? On the spot. All right, I got one. Write it down for you. Make it hard for you. Kind of. I'm writing this for those who are listening on the audio. I'm writing the tiebreaker question down. Right now, there's a tie between two people. So here is the tie-breaking question. Who were the babyface Ultimate Survivors at Survivor Series 1990? Who were the babyface Ultimate Survivors at Survivor Series 1990? So for those who are familiar with Survivor Series 1990, you had a series of matches, and then the survivors of each match, the babyfaces and the heels, went against each other. So you have to name all of the Ultimate Survivors. I'll kind of glob you one. There were 5 heels. You don't have to name them, but there were 3 baby faces. So it was a 3-on-5. So you have to name all of the baby faces. I give SmackDown a B. I like the takeover feel to it, but at the same time, I'm okay with Ciampa being Miz. I'm okay with Finder's Ire losing to Rhea Ripley and Tegan Nox. But I don't know. I felt some kind of way about Adam Cole beating Daniel Bryan clean. Now, Daniel Bryan does seem like, he's notorious for putting people over, which is the reason why Seth Rollins he didn't beat Seth Rollins clean on Raw. So I was like, that kind of brings SmackDown down a notch. You're trying to make them big on Fox and make them a big, the A show, but they kind of brought them down a notch by losing to NXT to me. So yeah. All right, let's see. Mo says that easy. SmackDown B+, Raw C+. SmackDown B solid, Raw D+. I agree, Lexi. It was, it was really tough for me. Like, I was literally, it was funny because I work every day here in my office, my studio here, and I work during Raw, so I have Raw on one screen, and I'll be working on the other screen in my studio here, and it was rough. It was rough. I was like nodding off. I was just so bored by Raw, and I'm a night owl. I go to sleep super late. Everybody knows that I'm a night owl. And it was rough for me. Like, I was dozing off. It was rough. And I actually had to get to the point where I had to shut down my work in my studio, and I had to go to my theater area. And so I have a man cave, and then I have a theater area, and then I have a studio, and behind it. So I had to go to the theater area and sit on my couch and watch it on my projection screen because I was just so tired. Actually, I was leaning on the arm of my couch because I was so just bored with it. So I like the Seth Rollins thing. Like, it's a good way to kind of do something different with him, but nothing else really stood out to me, unfortunately. What about Renee Young getting hit in the nose? That was a shoot. So what do you have? I keep seeing just random people throwing. Give me all three at once. I'm not going to sift through the names here. Just give me the three sequentially. Okay, so Mo says Hogan, Warrior, and Tito. Hogan, Warrior, and Tito. Hogan, Warrior, and Tito Santana. Hogan, Warrior, and Tito Santana. Now, is that the answer of the question for the tiebreaker? Mo gets to pick the flavor of the week topic. Hogan, Warrior, Tito Santana. Arriba. Good job. Good job, Mo. Fantastic. So you get to pick. So go ahead and pick your flavor of the week topic. Before we close up, we're gonna be before we close up tonight. Go ahead and put your flavor of the week topic on the chat. All right, yeah. So yeah, that's basically Raw and SmackDown. It was rough for me, man. It was Raw was very, very rough for me. All right, so let's get into the flavor of the week, ladies and gentlemen. WWE in your house, Be Red Dog. Go ahead, Mo. Put your flavor of the week topic on there so we can discuss it for next week. Whatever you want to choose, whatever wrestling topic. It can be 80s, 90s, 70s, 2000s, WWE, WCW, NWA, top 5, worst, best, whatever you want to. Okay, there you go. That's a good one. Who was the top NWA champions? Okay. Top what? Top 5, top 7, top what? Tell me how many. Top how many? Top how many? And we'll talk about it next week. Top 3, top 5, top how many? Top 5. All right, there we go. Top 5 NWA World Champions. We will talk about that next week. All right, there's your top 5. All right, so I have a top 5. This week we're going to talk about top 5 Survivor Series debuts. Top 5 Survivor Series debuts. Here we go.
It is now time for the flavor of the week.
All right, so let's get this rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the top 5 Survivor Series debuts. I have get some good music rolling here. You know how I am with the PMP playlist. PMP. There we go. Number 5, I have The Shield. The Shield as number 5. I think they made a big impression as their debut. All 3 of them became world champions. Yeah. So that was number 5. Number 4, The Rock. The Rock. Yeah, just because. Yes, Gabriel, the smooth sounds of DJ Prolific. Absolutely. Yeah, not necessarily his debut, because I remember, like, who in the world is this guy? I mean, really. But because of the impression that he made, and a lot of people put him even higher. But no, I put him as 4 just because of what it meant. He debuted at Survivor Series. He ended up becoming one of the biggest stars in the history of WWE, top 3 hands down. So I think because of that is the reason why his debut means so much. At the time, it wasn't really big to me, but it means so much in hindsight. Number 3, I have Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, he debuted in 1999 Survivor Series, and again, it's kind of like his promos were good too, so there was a level of anticipation with that in 1999 because they were building him up really good. And again, it was like, I mean, he had his ECW, stint, the one time. And so, yeah, I think again, it's one of those things that just slightly above The Rock, because at that time he was kind of pegged to be like a star. And so it really didn't mean, it meant more than The Rock at the time, because it seemed like they were trying to push Angle more than The Rock from a main event level. So it seemed like they were just, they hot shot, Angle. He came in 99 and won the title at No Mercy, 2000. So it was clear that they were pegging, Kurt Angle to be among the top. So that's the reason why I put him in number 3. So, and then number 2, I have The Undertaker. And that's pretty self-explanatory. Michael was saying that he started live events. Yes, but the live events were taped after. It was taped before Survivor Series, but aired after Survivor Series. So, according to us as kids, he had debuted at Survivor Series, according to the WWE television schedule. So yeah, Taker for number 1. Taker number 2 for me. Taker number 2 for me. Number one is Sting. One of the greatest debuts in history. I marked out when Sting debuted at Survivor Series. It was absolutely amazing. It was long overdue. Survivor Series was the time that they chose to debut him, and it was absolutely perfect. It was incredible. So those are my top 5. Those are my top 5 Survivor Series debuts. Next week, because of Mo, we're going to talk about the top 5 world champions. Guys, it has been an amazing, much better than last week. And thanks for all your prayers, everybody. I feel much better. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it, man. Michael says, great show. I appreciate it. I appreciate all your support. And, I appreciate you all joining me once again. Episode 397. Guess what, guys? 3 more weeks before we get to 400 episodes. Can you believe that? 400 episodes. Absolutely incredible. So, wow. Yes, thank you, Michael. Hit that like button. And look, let's spread the news. Let's expand this PNP Nation, okay? This is an independent thing, okay? This is straight up independent. This is something this has been my baby since 2012. And nothing can't spread without your support, your help, your donations for Patreon, you sharing these videos, you promoting this stuff. It's not going to spread even more until, you guys, the PNP Nation, spread it. Comment, like, share. Let's continue to spread this out. Let's show all the non-independent, wrestler podcast, all the big sites and all that good stuff. I'm cool with all the big sites. I appreciate them. As far as me being a part of them, I appreciate them. But at the same time, let's do this, guys. Let's make this a big deal. This has been an independent show since 2012. So let's continue to spread the news. Ask for a special guest for 400. We'll see. We'll see. It's going to be big. 400 is going to be big. Hashtag PNP 400 Facebook and Twitter. Yeah. So we got 400. We got PNP 400 coming up. Okay. Once again, I appreciate you all so much. Message me about that, Michael. I got some things rocking and rolling, but I can make some changes though. Listen, in order for us to grow, I'm gonna need your help. This is an independent show. Like I said, it's been my baby since 2012. It's been featured on, some of the biggest publications, so I appreciate that. But let's keep going. All right, let's keep going. Let's continue to spread this. My goal is, to be honest with you, I'm thankful for the avenues that I have. But my goal is to continue to build this up. That's the reason why, there are some opportunities that I have, and I still do, because I'm actually about to start working with the site that I work for. And as actually you can see this. My shows are actually on FanBuzz now, and FanBuzz has between the FanBuzz and the SlamBuzz has over 200,000 Facebook followers. FanBuzz has about 800,000. So between the two, there are about 1 million Facebook followers. Huge social media presence. So I'm thankful for that. So the Thursday, like it was before, the live Tuesday shows will be, the tape version will be on Thursdays. So, and real quick, special shout out to SCU for being winning the AEW Tag Team Championships last week. So, but yeah, as I continue to expand, there's a lot in my mind. A lot of times it's like, man, you got to work with like a big promotion to like really, make it big. But PNP has been going on for over 7.5 years, and it's been almost 400 episodes. I've interviewed over 150 wrestlers from WWE, NXT, NWA, ROH, MLW, and wow, that is incredible. So I thank God so much for PNP. Tuesday night's one of my favorite nights of the week, and man, just absolutely incredible. So you guys are awesome. I appreciate you all. On behalf of 397 tonight, I appreciate you all once again. Support, like, comment, share, subscribe, share, donate. And until next week, have a good week. Enjoy your week of wrestling. God bless, and always remember, I do it for you. Have a good night, everybody.